Hello, hello, Leo, and welcome to your February reading. I'm Madeline, if we haven't met before. And if you're back, very excited to see you. So, as always, we are going to start by pulling a tarot spread to look at the story of February for you, Leo, where you are and what's around you. And then we will cap off your reading by pulling a couple cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck, get a little further guidance from your people and your stars. So let's jump into it, shall we? Spirit, we want to read for Leo. People born under the constellation of Leo, Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising, and Dominant Folks. Spirit, what do those with Leo energy need to know for their highest good in the month of February? What's showing up for them? How are they showing up? What kind of helpful or hindering influences are around Leo people? Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising, Dominant Folks. What do they need to know, Spirit? Any elements of the past as they relate to the present and the unfolding future that Leo needs to know about for their highest good, Spirit. We want to help them walk into a future that brings coherence, fulfillment, ease, peace, abundance, love, fun. What does Leo need to know to make that happen? Ooh, let's see what we got here. Cool. Couple bonus cards, Leo. Let's see. Month of February for Leo. Beautiful. Huh. I'm curious. Any of y'all have Taurus placements? Any of my Leo people got Taurus placements? Let me know. Let me know. And if you do, you might want to go watch that video because I'm already seeing a little bit of some parallels. Wow. Wow. It's a good wow. Wow. Pardon, Leo. I promise. I'm going to pick up everything and show it to you. Wow. Yeah, share the wealth. That's one of the first things that I'm hearing, Leo, is share the wealth. When the opportunity comes to hold it tight or spread the goodness around, I don't feel like I have to belabor that point too much, but that's a headline here, is when the good stuff comes, share the good stuff. Let's find out. Let's get into it. Okay, Leo, center of your spread, the sweet and lovely Two of Cups. A wonderful energy. This is crush energy. This is meeting for the first time somebody and being really excited. That can come in, like I said, a romantic kind of crush form. That can also be like, wow, I'm meeting this new friend. Like I'm starting to have, feelings for this new friend. But like, you know, movies and media have like rotted our brains when it comes to the idea of like having feelings for someone. It's like I have feelings for my sister who's my best friend. I have the most amazing, huge, big love for that person, and it has nothing to do with romance. It has everything to do with like, wow, we have a soul connection. You know what I'm talking about? So when we say soulmates, people often go to like romantic partners, and it's like there's all kinds of soulmates, family, friend, etc. Regardless, I was about to call you Taurus because this is one of the cards you share with Taurus, Leo. Regardless, Leo, there is a soulmate connection stirring in your life. It's bringing up a lot of feelings, is what Spirit is saying. And it is helping you open up your heart and move forward with faith. So for some of you, this is like um, a new relationship of some kind, or like a resurgence and like a refreshment, like a renewal of that relationship. Um, it's really illuminating your soul. Those are strong words, but that's what I'm hearing as I look at this star card. It's really helping you open up. It's really helping you strip away some defenses, sitting in the basement or what is unseen. The Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords and the Star don't exactly, they make strange bedfellows, as they say. These cards, if we imagined their personalities at a party, the Queen of Swords would be like, why are you naked? You know what I mean? Whereas the Star wouldn't even think to comment on the trappings of what the Queen of Swords would be wearing. She'd be looking for her soul. It's like, oh yeah, all that stuff you're wearing, what I'm looking for is what's inside. And so there's no judgment and there's only curiosity. Um, so there is, it feels like, Leo, the powerful part of you that wants to keep yourself safe and wants to make sure, that you have strong boundaries and doesn't want to get hurt again, which is something that comes up around the Queen of Swords a lot. Um, it feels like there's a little bit of a desire to, or like maybe a push pull, a struggle between sharing your whole self, not just with this Two of Cups person, but also with the wider world, is something that I'm hearing. And a great time to remind you, Leo, these are general readings. So I'm an intuitive reader. I talk to spirit. I'm a medium. So I just share what spirit wants to share, and they're sharing for many different Leos that are going to listen to this video. So if something resonates or makes sense for you in one way and not in another, that's totally fine. Take what works for you or helps you and leave the rest knowing that that's for some other Leo that is listening to this reading. So there seems to be this push-pull or this tug of war between um, being your whole, naked self and dropping your defenses and um, keeping them in place. And there's no moral question here. Like, you're not like a good person if you get spiritually naked, and you're not a bad person or a less good person if you, keep your defenses up. I feel this is more about, it's a cliche, but it's true. It's, the walls that we build around us to keep us safe, they do keep us safe, but they also keep us safe from the good things that are out there. And we're not able to feel things deep in our heart when we want to keep a shield up because we don't want that heart to get hurt. You know what I mean? So it feels like Leo sitting in the key position. Let's just jump right there. Sitting in the key position, here's you. This is you at your best. The key is to lean into your Queen of Wandsness. So, the Queen of Swords, we're not shading anybody. We're not saying the Queen of Wands is better than the Queen of Swords, but I will say that for a Leo, the Queen of Wands is generally better than a Queen of Swords because this is you in your element. This is not you protecting yourself by being invulnerable, right? Like the opposite of vulnerable. This is about your warmth and your shine and your honesty and your integrity and your courage shining so brightly that if anybody wanted to come around and fuck you over, that not only would you be strong enough in your heart, in your body, in your mind to withstand the fact that that person was at a lesser place than you, and that's just how I'll put it, you would be able to transmute and alchemize that experience to know even more how worthy you are and how other people struggle to connect with themselves and therefore other people in an authentic way. This is a really fucking deep reading, but that's what Spirit is saying. Crowning your reading, the Hermit. You pursuing your own understanding. We also have the star crossing your reading, and the star is right here inside of the lantern. So, again, this idea of following your faith, doing what you know is right. And that may have you walking in a very different direction than like your contemporaries and colleagues. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the Hermit. The Hermit is not, for example, like the Six of Wands, where it's like everybody's watching me, everybody agrees, everybody's applauding. The Hermit is, I know what I know. And like that's the wisdom that you are pursuing in this season, is your own wisdom, your own like self efficacy. This is a deep ass reading. Okay. In the recent past, Spirit, as I look at this Temperance card, says a beautiful shift. So when we talk about cards that could have a great time together at a party, you can see similarities just from the symbolism here. There's a sharing. There's a ripple effect. There's one foot in the sea and one foot on the land. Balance. So temperance is gentleness. And I'm hearing that for some of you, this is very literal. Temperance is the old school word for not drinking. So some of you might be going through kind of like a health journey where it's like, oh, I've realized that when I overindulge in alcohol, chocolate, drug of choice, whatever, workaholism, that brings my life and myself out of balance. And so I need to do less or bring more pockets of peace or etc. And for some of you, this relationship may be the thing that is helping you, pardon me, helping you shift gently into new habits. And you may, Spirit is saying, you are finding new things out about yourself even now. Between the Hermit and the Star, it's like, wow, once I get past even my own, that's what Spirit is saying, okay? Once I get past my own inner Queen of Swords, like the Queen of Swords that is guarding the room where, my pain or my fear lives. And it's like I have to get past my own defenses at this point because I've honed them so well. But I am determined to know the truth. And I am determined to shed fear, defense, etc., etc., in order to move with what my soul needs. Okay? Where you find yourself abundant, 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 abundant. I'm hearing like there are plenty of resources. I'm feeling that you are knowing your skills. Like you know your value. And I feel like lots of you are helping other people to know their value, which thank you, Leo. That's a very wonderful thing to do. So I'm hearing like benefactor, like you showing up as a benefactor for people. Love to see it. So maybe you're donating, maybe you are donating your time, maybe you're helping people hone their skills. Wealth creates wealth is something that Spirit is saying. So lean into what you are wonderful at. What is your skill? What is your resource? It sets you apart. That's something that Spirit is saying too with that Hermit card. Something sets you apart. Something unique about the journey you've been on sets you apart from other people who may even be doing the same thing. So there's a key in there. There's some magic in what it is that makes you you. That it's like, yeah, y'all could try to go to school and study this insight or this skill, and you would never be able to get where I am because I've been training in that my whole life. That type of thing. Like Spirit is just, you know what I'm talking about? So here's another clue or key is if you looked back at your childhood, your let's not, like childhood is limited. Like let's say just your whole growing up experience through adolescence, through young adulthood, everything. If you were to look at that as basic training, whether it was positive or negative, what did you get trained in? You have something that other people don't have. Even if they have the same degree or the same whatever as you have an approach and an insight that is different than everyone, and lean into that. That's just what I'm hearing, Leo. The energy around and available to you. The Hanged One is a pause. Now, we don't mind a little pause to have a great epiphany and a sense of understanding. Okay, again, three figures that could really hang out and have a fascinating conversation. Like I would listen to this podcast. You know what I'm talking about? The Hanged One doesn't rush. The Hanged One also, very importantly, does not give a goddamn about what their process looks like to the rest of the world. They're hanging upside down by their foot from a tree. And they do not seem in any kind of rush, oddly enough, to like get out of there. They're not thrashing, they're not screaming, they're not trying to reach up to their feet. They've actually got their hands behind their back and they're chilling. And they're having their corona of oof, that word has taken on a whole other meaning. And when I say corona, I mean the halo of light. Okay? They're having their epiphany, they are having their own shift in understanding, and they're not worried about what anybody else thinks about it. Sitting in the future, the Lovers, ecstatic union. Now, I can't help but point out that we start here, and this is what sits in the future. So yes, Leo, for many, many, many of you, as I said, a relationship, and in particular, perhaps a romantic relationship, or at the very least, a soulmate relationship, is at the heart of things this month and is helping you truly know yourself better. That's what I'm hearing. Know yourself better, know your value better. And this can come in different ways for different Leos, but this person is reflecting back to you something really important that points you to who you are, something essential about who you are and about your value. It's helping you shed. Um, and when the miracle comes, don't be afraid that that's the only one. That's so strange, but that's what Spirit is having me say. It's kind of like, so the Lovers is a card everybody wants. It's this ignition, and it is also this choice. Okay? You know, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. There's a synthesis, there's a union. Now, clarifying that Lovers card, Four of Pentacles and the Three of Cups talk about two roads diverged in a yellow wood. If you try to hold on to it all on your own, that's no fun, and it's very withholding. Now, if you share the wealth, as Spirit was getting at earlier, once you find it, to share the amazing things that you have discovered along your journey, the amazing epiphanies that have come about from taking a different and maybe very unconventional road. Maybe your life looked like it was going to go one way, and now it's going to go in a very different direction, and you can be happy about that when it feels like it is coming from the seat of your soul. If it feels like you're doing it because the outer world will give you some type of validation, I will just say that is not the path. It is your own validation, and it is also about the mirror that this person, this Two of Cups Lovers person, is, what they are showing to you, for the positive or the negative. What is it making clear to you? What is it helping you shed? It feels like it is helping you come even more into your own. I'm very curious, Leo. Again, as a Leo rising myself, I'm like, what is this? We'll find out. February trucks on. Okay. To finish out your reading, let's now pull a couple cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck. So, Spirit. Wow. Well, that was easy. For Leo in the month of February. Wow. 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 So, first card up, this is the Aquarius card, and the key word here is collaborate. Collaborate. And then your second card up is the fifth house in astrology, and the key word is passion. The fifth house, I mean, we already talked about passion, ignition, etc. And we also talked about your courage, creativity, charisma, all things ruled by the fifth house, which Leo, you are the fifth sign. So Leo, the fifth sign, corresponds to the fifth house. Y'all have a lot in common. Play, romance, creativity, fun, coming from the heart and expressing from the heart. So collaborate and express. There is a reignition of your passion, and Spirit is saying this this shedding that you're doing is like removing gauze from around a bright light. So all these defenses that you may be working to drop, you are going to shine brighter and brighter and brighter. And instead of worrying about how do I draw lines and keep people out and keep people from dimming my light, focus more on being so bright that those who are not of a similar brightness can't even stand to be around you. So they don't bother trying to cut it down or make fun of it or whatever. They just get out of your fucking way. Sounds like a Leo method to me. How's that feel to you, Leo? Very curious as always. If you've got stories, comments, reflections, I would love to hear them in the comments. And if you ever want to get a personal reading, the way to do that is just south of this video as well. I'm on MadelineTheVillageWitch.com, and same on all the socials. Thank you for being here, Leo. I hope your time pays for itself many times over, and I hope that I will see you next time. Bye-bye.